What if I told you? The deepest parts of our oceans hold secrets that are stranger than any alien world. Can you believe it? We're talking about creatures that live in a world of eternal darkness and crushing pressure. Creatures that you can't even imagine. We know less about the depths of our own oceans than we do about the Moon and Mars. In this episode, we're going to dive into unsolved mysteries and the strangest inhabitants of planet Earth. But the main question is, how do these creatures survive in that icy dark hell? So if you're ready to turn your reality upside down, stay with me until the end of this episode. The Twilight Zone and crushing pressure. The first thing you need to know is that the depths of the ocean are not an ordinary environment. It's a real hell for life. And the story begins right where sunlight gradually disappears. At a depth of about 200 meters, we enter the Twilight Zone. Here, the light is very dim and the creatures start to get strange. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Below 1,000 meters, there's no light at all and we enter the Midnight Zone. Here, there are two main killers. Here, it's absolute darkness, meaning there are no rays that sunlight can reach. There's nothing to see, and also the terrifying pressure at the deepest point, the Mariana Trench. The pressure is so intense that if a regular submarine goes down there, it would be crushed like a soda can. This pressure is more than 1,000 times greater than the pressure at sea level. And it's exactly this pressure and darkness that have made the creatures there develop some strange and unusual tricks to survive. They use tricks that you haven't even seen in science fiction movies. But how is it possible for a creature to survive in such conditions? The monsters of the deep, the secret of bioluminescence. But how is it possible? How can you both hunt and hide in total darkness? This is where the deep-sea creatures have a magical invention, bioluminescence. Most of the creatures there produce their own light, like a flashlight that lights up inside their belly, and this light is used for three main purposes. The most famous example is the anglerfish. This fish has a glowing appendage that looks like a fishing lure hanging from its head. Small fish are attracted to this light, thinking it's a tasty morsel, but in reality they swim straight into the mouth of a monster. And it's also used for camouflage. Some creatures emit light from underneath their bodies, so their shadow is invisible in the dim light, and predators can't spot them. And finally, for mating and communication in that darkness, the only way they can find each other is through these bioluminescent lights. And this glowing has a big secret. Scientists still don't know why some creatures have different colored lights than others, or exactly how they control this chemical process. Ghost sharks and transparent fish, mysteries of strange bodies, and the appearance of these creatures is itself a big mystery. For example, there's a shark called the frilled shark. This shark, which looks like a sea serpent and has an ancient appearance, is considered a kind of living fossil. And because it's so rarely seen, scientists know almost nothing about it. They don't know how it hunts or how it gives birth, but that's not even the strangest part. Some fish, like the fangtooth fish or the barrelly fish, have strange and unusual eyes that stare either upward or downward. And what's even stranger is this. There's a fish called the transparent headfish whose head is completely see-through, so you can actually see its brain and eyes. This is an incredible camouflage for hunting prey. But how did these creatures manage to develop all these bizarre structures and survive such extreme pressure? This is where we arrive at the biggest mystery, the size of these monsters. But if you think deep-sea creatures are small, I have to tell you that you're mistaken. There's a strange phenomenon called Deep-Sea Gigantism, which means that creatures in the ocean depths are much larger than their counterparts near the surface. For example, the giant isopod, which is a type of large crustacean, can grow up to 76 centimeters, or the Dumbo octopus, which looks like the flying elephants in cartoons, and the pelican eel, whose mouth can swallow prey bigger than itself, and of course the queens of these giants, the giant squid and the colossal squid. The colossal squid can grow up to 45 feet or about 13 meters, and its eyes are as big as a soccer ball. We have almost no information about the way of life, reproduction, or hunting habits of these two giant monsters. But why does this happen? Scientists speculate that it's because of the low temperatures and the scarcity of food. In low temperatures, metabolism, or the body's energy processing, slows down significantly. Along with that, food is very scarce, so being bigger increases the chances of catching prey. But do these creatures get sick like we do, or have they found a path to immortality in the darkness? Now we come to the unsolved mysteries of the depths. These are no longer just creatures, they are phenomena for which there is no explanation, and the most famous mystery is the bloop sound. In 1997, a hydrophone, which is a device for listening to sounds underwater, was placed in the southern Pacific Ocean. It recorded an incredibly loud and strange sound. This sound was so powerful that it could be heard from thousands of kilometers away. But no known creature in the sea, not even a blue whale, can produce such a loud sound, and this raised the question, is this sound from an unknown creature? Is it a giant being much larger than the Colossal Squid, or is it the sound of a strange and unusual natural phenomenon? The answer still remains a mystery, but this isn't the only strange thing out there. The city of Yonaguni, off the coast of Japan, has a massive stone structure underwater that resembles a stepped pyramid. Some people say it's a natural formation, but others believe it's an ancient city that sank underwater 2,000 years ago. And now we've reached the answer to the question I asked at the beginning of this video. But how do these creatures survive in the icy dark hell? The answer is right here. Deep ocean creatures survive by altering the laws of physics and biology. They do this by using bioluminescence. That is, by producing light for hunting and communication, they've adapted to the darkness. They also use physical adaptations like gelatinous and transparent bodies to withstand the immense pressure, and finally due to their gigantism. That is, slowing down their life processes to grow in cold, food-scarce environments. And this is how these creatures are the best example of just how adaptable life can be. We have still only explored about 5 to 10% of the oceans. So the remaining 90% is full of unsolved mysteries and creatures we can't even imagine, and maybe we don't even need to look for aliens in distant galaxies anymore. Aliens are waiting to be discovered right beneath the waves in the dark depths of the oceans. And thank you so much for joining me on this mysterious journey. If you enjoyed this episode, follow me and leave your thoughts for me, because I read all of them and reply to every single one. So until the next episode, let's stay curious. Goodbye.